I know, Ronnie said she put money in the myself.
I'm going to have to start wearing my socks.
Ronnie said you phoned her, thank you very much. That was
I'm going
good.
to put them on, my little shoes today.
So what we're going to do is a meditation, followed by what is mediumship, the do's and the don'ts, my likes and dislikes, followed by doing it, and every time we get to do one, with a positive critique afterwards and how we can improve or disimprove or whatever the words are, until we get it down really pat. Yeah, and then afterwards I have some
Prizes?
Chocolate fish.
Prizes.
Yeah.
So, no distractions. Pillows, yeah. The curtains are open, the sun shines in, you get out of bed, you find yourself in the chair in this room. How do you feel? Relaxed? Any interesting experiences you want to share? What happened when you put it in your head?
I put it in my head and then went all the way through, and I could feel it like
I worked the land and what crops they were going to plant. So that was interesting. Do you think you're sort of drawn to what you like?
Well,
In a way?
meditation's interesting because you're actually exploring your own mind.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, you know, people say you might be
Meditations, I just get a purple, like geode, and it's emanating out, and then I get pictures.
Big fisherman. Yeah.
Did anyone stop to put their feet in the healing pond?
oh yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, I did, definitely.
That's where my crystal was.
I had a meditation once when I was at home just after I'd split up with my husband, and he had the kids, so there was only me in the house,
Yeah.
and I was meditating in my chair, and
Mediumship, what is it? Got to get this
Something
right.
in the
passing on spiritual messages.
No,
Stuck in the middle with you.
no. Stuck's the wrong word. Nah.
It's a song. Instead of swill.
Connecting with those who've passed over?
Nah.
I don't.
Okay.
A lot of people say, what's the difference between what's the difference between a medium and a psychic? So let's
I think
start
you
off
told
with
us before.
what is mediumship.
But a psychic is not necessarily a spiritual person.
Mediumship is only one thing, and it is to prove life after death. So it's got to be connected to a loved one, not to a guide, not to what's happening into your life. You prove life after death by saying, I've got your dad here, Lolita. This is his name. This is what he did for a job. Here's the scar on his shoulder. It used to be really popular, Second World War. That's means prove life after death. And so the whole spiritualist movement flourished out of that, called the spiritualist churches, where people went to a church which had a demonstration of mediumship proving life after death.
Everybody wants it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you get the information. I know you sort of just. How do you get the names?
So
and
let's
the things?
not put the cart before the horse. So let's just know what it is first.
Okay.
Mediumship is proof of life after death. How you get there is the psychic skills. You get there by feelings, by visions, by words. So the secret is to be honest and to really want to prove life after death for this person who's grieving. Not to prove life after death for you and your ego and aren't you great. So it starts with intention. And a lot of people... Do you get my point? It's not genuous. It's not. It's disingenuous.
Yeah.
So
It depends whether that person just had the ability and done it themselves, or whether they've gone to somebody to be trained, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to put you down. I want to give you an example of
But-
you're dealing with people's
But I
lives.
think
Yeah.
the lady that said yes, she was murdered. You see, why would you say that?
The lady was crying. She wanted a message from her
Wouldn't you
sister.
just, when they said yes, it was a violent death, wouldn't you
Yeah.
just say yes,
That's
it
a
was?
preaching.
Yeah.
She was crying. Well, it's just unethical and wrong to use someone's emotions
Mm.
in a.
Mm.
So tonight, if you want to be a good medium, we're here to learn mediumship. One, be dead serious about it. Two, be utmost spiritual about it. And three, respect the person you're speaking to and the person you're bringing through. And if you can't do that, do not do this thing. So the do's are be sincere. The don'ts are don't condescend and patronise people. The other don't, which happened a lot last night, is don't ask questions which only have a yes or a no answer. That around and make it look good.
And was the message genuine, do you think?
Oh, the message is the usual stuff.
was
I
anything.
love you.
Yeah,
it's
was
fluffy
anything.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just telling you. What's the time? I'm just telling you what I want you to do. Be sincere. Don't do a lot of what that's called fishing.
Mm.
Right? And this is how to fish. Lyndon, I got a name starting with J. Can you think of someone in your family who's passed over with a name starting with J?
Yes.
Who's that?
James.
Was he? What was he?
He was my grandfather.
And I start off with Mary and Anne. So there's two other names.
Mary is my grandma.
Right, that's the one I started off with first. So she's around who's strong, and that's who I want to bring the message to. Now that's say by the image she's showing me, she's well to do, because her hair is like permed. It's just looking tidy, and earrings, but round ones, so they're more like clip-ons than piercings. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the only time I do ask questions, does that make sense?
Right hand side wheel and panel. That's what I saw.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't see a battery, but I saw something to do with that in the car. And I said, do you have something wrong with the wheel, or have you had a flat tire lately? Well, I probably you need to stop and I needed to stop and ask, okay, what makes the help? I probably needed to ask, okay, make the message clearer. What is this about?
Yeah. As people tend to do. But you'll know that you feel like the person says, I know who you've got, you've proven the link, give the message, and sometimes there is no message except to say hi. To break the link, I have a technique, and the technique is ask them to give you a gift to gift. That's how I break the link, which was taught to me by Laurel Barnett. So if I was, give me some do's. Give me some don'ts first. Chris, what don't we do?
Fake it.
Because you know when you're faking it.
Mm.
Something else we don't do?
Fish.
Don't fish.
Is that asking questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
People aren't dumb. They know
No.
you're fishing.
Don't go for yes or no.
Yeah, don't put yourself to a yes or no question. You know, we did last week, I had 6 serving men. Their names were who, where, why, what, where, and whatever, and when. Use those open-ended questions.
A lot of bush or trees and a house in the middle of it. And he couldn't relate to it whatsoever. So anyway, what about a week later? He comes up, he says, you know what? This is what, he says, you know what you said the other day about the trees? He says, well, it was because that person moved to a place, and it was called something, I've forgotten what it was, but it meant a house in the bush.
So yeah, so
You made it fit.
stay with what you got.
Got it
Yeah,
together.
yeah, I was going, wow, yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of when you need to ask your spirit or guides, or just get an impression, okay, is this past, present, or in the future? Where's this message going,
Ask.
or where's it coming
Yeah.
from? Yeah.
If you're not sure,
Yeah.
ask. I've told you
yeah.
the story about. Here's one more thing before we start. It's to do with Maori. Whenever you're giving a message to Maori, there is a different protocol, only to Maori. And the protocol is that you have to get permission to go into their space, not from them, but from the tupuna. Give you some language here. Your ancestors are called tupuna or tipuna, which is like the whole ancestors. So you just say, just wait for it. You tell them, could you just wait a second, I need permission, and you close your eyes while I do, and you do this powhiri. Powhiri language is about a meeting, a process of meeting. So you imagine that you're walking onto a marae, they're coming out to meet you, they do the challenge, you have your interaction and you're invited in. And remember everything you see. What does the marae look like, or the pā look like? Is there a hill in the background? Is it by the beach? Are the Maori, are they old savagey looking, or are they more up? Because even Maori had different classes. Are they royalty Maori or serfs or warrior Maori? Were there lots of women or no women? What did the rangatira, what did the chief look like? Did he have a tooth missing? You know, go for those details. Did he give you a present? Sometimes they give you a staff with a carving on it. Describe it. When you've done your powhiri, then you can start off your reading by telling them what you did and saw. And they will go, I can relate to that. They'll also go, you respect our culture, I'm going to listen to you, and they're open. And from then on, everything will be spot on. Okay? So only with Maori, do a powhiri first. It's respectful. Right, who wants to go first? Questions?
How do you know if someone's Maori or not?
Sometimes you think they are and they're not,
That's right.
with the colour of their skin.
Exactly.
So if I'm not sure, I will ask, because I'm not afraid to ask. The tupuna, if they stand in front of you, they're modern Maori, going to bring you into the future. If they stand behind you, they're old-fashioned Maori, want to pull you back into the past. If they stand next to you, they're ultra-modern, they're your friend and they support you and you live your own life. So those little things really help.
Your father's side, he would have been a fairly tall man, slimish build, dark hair, moustache.
What are you getting, Keith?
Oh, drawn to Chris in the word brother. That's as far as it went.
Okay. Do you have a brother in spirit?
No.
No.
So that's where it stopped.
And so what did you do to try and get it to go further? How did you find, Keith, did you find getting them to stand next to you easier or going to somebody?
Oh, standing next to me was easier.
Because you might like to take that technique then as an option.
You could try
It's
going
easier.
to someone first.
Yeah.
Yeah, because coming to you, otherwise you got to find something.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
instead of looking at everybody as multiple possibilities and repeating the process, there's just one process.
But you've got to find who they belong to.
Yeah, that's true. And you got something more solid.
A picture of a lady, quite jovial and friendly, like an old fisherwoman. My feeling is she died maybe in her 60s. Does that? I was going to say Christine, but then I got Catherine. Does that?
Christine's my sister. She's still alive.
Doesn't matter whether they're alive or not, it's still a
Okay.
link. Yeah.
Okay.
Got as a fishing basket, which will have fish in it at some stage.
Thank you.
Okay. So how do you feel about that?
I feel there's energy. I get someone on your mother's side, actually, and my first thought was on your father's side, but it's on your left. Are you left-handed? I'm just wondering with toe reading, it's the opposite for Leslie.
No, I'm right-handed.
You're right-handed, okay.
Use your language.
Yeah. Feeling that he's always an outdoor person, but only always in short sleeves or something, like a farmer, always in a rush, always warm but wearing short sleeves, a singlet or shorts or something. Can you relate to this?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Okay. Getting the name Bert.
Oh, no,
Right.
we don't do it like
Boone.
that.
Oh no, what it,
We say,
can you?
who's
Who's
Bert?
Bert, or that's short for Robert. The second name was Joseph.
Joseph.
No. Okay.
No,
All right.
sorry, I have to
Oh.
interrupt because of my pet thing. Who's Joseph?
Okay, who's Joseph? I feel energy on my right side, but I can't see anything. I'm not seeing anything.
Okay. If you could see something, what do you think it would be?
Um, I've got a man here, clean shaven, slimish build, with a hat, with a rim, but the top of it is like caved in like a cowboy, like you've put your hands on it.
Yeah.
It's quite indented though, and the sides. It's quite a light coloured hat, greyish, beige.
To Lolita.
Yeah,
Your
my dad
dad
always
was a
wore a
farmer.
farmer's hat. You know, they pick it up, plug it on the head. And
That's the
it was
link.
Yeah.
like an Elliot Ness type hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that have, because I know myself that farmer with a big rim, so did it have a small rim or was it a flat big rim?
No, like an Elliot Ness type hat. They just have
I'm not too sure
but
what
it's
a
they
little
look
rim.
like.
like a mafia type hat.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's what I-
what,
Fedora.
that's definitely
What do you
what
call
I've.
Yeah.
Fedora.
A fedora. Yeah.
Mm.
It's not an Australian one.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a New
not.
Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All the
There's your
cowpoppers
link.
wore them.
okay.
See?
Yes. Can you relate? I can see land. Can you relate to the land with lots of divots and streams? It definitely wasn't flat. It was more bumpy and hilly.
Yeah, Hilly. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was it.
Thank you, Tara.
Hard work, isn't it?
Yes.
Well,
My
there's
heart
so
suddenly
many,
stopped now.
Mm.
so
But-
many things to think about and stop.
There
and
is,
start.
eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can any critique, any feedback?
More practice.
That's all it is
Yeah.
practice,
Yeah.
practice,
Yeah.
practice. If we did this every
Who's John?
Oh, uncle.
Lost it.
description, just ask yourself the questions. Is your link with John strong? You got who's John, you got the name John. Uncle. Next question should be, is that a family name? As in lots of Johns in your family.
Oh. Really? Is there lots of Johns in your family, or is it?
Not that I know of. No.
So,
So just say thank you,
yep,
which is
thank you.
neither here or there. And then you've got the link though. What's he look like? So just say fair skin, dark skin, brown eyes, blue eyes, tall, short. What did he do for a job?
So I'll go to a fair person, fairly tall. Whoosh.
Have a rest.
Thanks, Billy.
How did you find that?
When you ask a question, I can answer it straight away, but
So you got to get in the habit of asking yourself those questions.
yeah, I was trying to,
It's not easy.
Mm.
but sometimes they just wouldn't come.
It's not
And the
easy.
pictures don't come.
They don't come when you want them. Yet when you play, they can come. You've got an imagination, so it's all psychological. And
Yeah, because when I stood up there and I'm not getting anything, and then I saw the land really clearly, you know,
Yeah.
afterwards. And things sometimes is really clearly, and other times.
Next week we're going to change the format so it's more fun and more enjoyable and more learning. A short meditation. Oh, do you want a long one?
I like the long ones.
I know.
A 20-minute
We can
meditation.
do a short but deep.
Yeah, okay.
A short but deep meditation, and then straight into it, and I wonder if you can't try and what can we do to sort of tune in or improve it?
Now the one on one's easier, like when we just.
Yeah, we do one-on-one first and then stand up.
Okay,
Understand.
so
Then
we'll
we've
do
already
one-on-ones
got that
first.
practice, yeah.
And
then
with
we'll
the
do
rill, I found, and I know you think it's not necessary, we linked and we touched each other, and that made the link so much stronger.
Are you talking
For
about
those of-
touch clairvoyance?
Yeah, for those of us who knew, I just found that was made such a
Mm.
difference.
Yeah,
You
I know
can't
what
touch,
you mean.
because you can't touch on stage.
I know, but by then we'll be polished.
Are we going to go on?
Or just
stage?
imagine
We're
the
gonna go on
touch.
Yeah,
stage.
no, getting into the habit first,
Yeah,
getting
just,
that,
yeah,
getting
and
that
Oh,
it gives you a
might
bit
be.
of confidence.
Oh, you
there,
might
yeah,
be going on
yeah,
stage.
and
Yeah, well,
That's
well,
what
I
you
know
always
I've
well,
done
now
it
it's
before,
into
but
couple of
yeah.
weeks' time.
But I want you to be polished. We're not going to. No one's going on
I've done
stage.
psychometry there.
Oh, we're
years
going
ago.
on next week, aren't we?
No, no, no. Yes.
She's
I don't
joking.
So you work best with psychometry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, well,
we
I
might
got that
even
a bit too.
bring something as long as so you're quite welcome to use psychometry with the mediumship. But I thought the fledgling nights is about mediumship.
Yeah.
Okay. So any questions? Sorry for going over. Sorry that some of
That's
you
all
missed
right.
out.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Might
I'm
give
sorry.
us a
I missed
discount.
that.
Mine
Sorry,
last week,
Kaya.
so you said them.
You're
I
both
suppose
What
we'll be
is
first next
psychometry?
week.
I don't even know what that is.
We'll have to have
An
a
object,
practice with
just
some
Oh,
of
okay.
you.
So next week we just get into it and less talking, more playing, more playing, more playing, and I might give you a checklist or something.
Oh,
Mm.
Prompter. Okay, shall we close the energy?
Yeah.
Whose turn?
The families for coming in tonight, our galactic beings and everyone else who helped us with our learnings tonight, our information from Kevin. And I'd like us to surround ourselves with whatever energy we feel we need for the
Fills in one of these
Down
gets.
syndrome.
Give us a
And
chocolate.
this one, is it the same as the other one?
Yeah.
So they copy it?
I was only looking at the
Yeah.
The colour.
Oh,
Right, I thought that's what I was kind of waiting for, to know if it was him.
Yeah, I forget that.
That's
Excuse me, my
Learner evaluation forms.
Really
Well,
cool.
maybe the-
Are we writing the same
Yeah, I
stuff?
think they.
Well, you won't
I think
take the
they
same
were.
stuff because you're
I
on.
didn't, I've only met him about half a dozen times.
Yeah,
Thank
like,
you.
and lots
Might
of,
have been
you
tough.
know, the white granite.
And I bought from the South.
Right, I don't even know where in
And
the
there's
South
hardly
Island.
any of us.
Yeah, I only seen it one.
Yeah, also, well,